Now let's take you back to our top story. The Klerksdorp Fire Department has issued an evacuation order for residents living along the Vaal River in the Orkney district of Northwest. Linda Mnisi joins us live from Deneysville, a town on the banks of the Vaal Dam. Linda, good to speak to you this afternoon. Floodwaters gates opening, in fact, sluice number 4 has been opened only recently. Have the community in the Vaal reacted as expected to possible flooding on the shores of the Vaal River?
Well, Hugo, it depends on where you're from and how you look at it, because there are those, of course, who'll be worried, but there are also those who will get excited and come for an opportunity to take pictures in this picturesque view that we're giving you right now. But essentially, the Department of Water and Sanitation has informed us that they've had to open the 5th sluice gate, and that's because of the rising water levels. You'd recall that just yesterday that opened the 4th one, but there was a need over the past 24 hours. There was indeed a need to open the 5th one, and of course, that evacuation report that you speak of, informs and forms part of the people that would be within the 100-meter, area of the Vaal River. Because if you look on my right, you will see that the water levels are going just above the riverbanks, which ordinarily would result in the residents who fall within the 100 meters, indicated or told to make way or start evacuating. This, of course, is a safety precaution that the department and other stakeholders are taking. But I'm joined now by the Department of Water and Sanitation's Wisanima. So thank you so much for your time. I'm sure you've been working around the clock to ensure that there is a controlled water flow, especially here around the Vaal River. Talk to us about what you've noticed over the past 24 hours that necessitated the opening of the 5th sluice gate.
Thank you, Linda, and good afternoon to the viewers at home. Indeed, we have been working around the clock as a department. If you do recall that, yes, indeed, we opened a 4th sluice gate yesterday, which was necessitated by the rapid growing inflows into the Vaal Dam from upstream. But by yesterday evening, we were sitting at around 107, but this morning it has gone up to about 109.8%. And this has also required again for the department to act swiftly to open a 5th sluice gate in order to release more water from where we were sitting at about 550 cubic meters per second. It has now by midday gone up to around 1,200 cumex as we're sitting here. And this water, as it's flowing down, it's going to be reaching the area, the barrage area, at around in 6 hours from the time we open the sluice gate, around 10 o'clock. And it's expected also again to reach the Bloemhof Dam in 3 or 4 days. So at Bloemhof as well, we are also activating more releases which are being done in a staggered manner to go to about 1,400 cumex by 4 o'clock this afternoon. This is to enable the dam to also be able to manage the capacity that it's getting from the inflows that are coming from upstream. As such, those that are in low-lying areas along the Vaal River are required or are actually encouraged to start considering removing all their equipment, the livestock for farmers, as well as those that have got infrastructure that are movable to remove them, but also to consider moving to much more safer areas so as to avoid being flooded.
When you look at the picture, I mean, considering how fast it grew from yesterday, do you think, is there an anticipation or an expectation that you might have to also open the 6th sluice gate?
with the rate at which the inflows are coming through, and we're still expecting more upstream in the Vaal River catchment upstream, there is that possibility, and as we are providing all these early warning systems, is to encourage those that are within the riparian of this river to ensure that they are always in a much more safer environment, so that when we activate the 6th sluice gate as a result of this rapid growth, because we have already, as I've indicated, that received much more inflows in the last few hours after we've opened the gate, meaning that we're still going to experience more inflows as a result of surface water that is coming through. But in terms of the rainfall, we anticipate that in terms of the prediction of the weather services, that the rainfall will slow down, but because the water already has reached the catchment, the grounds, the inflows will continue for the next couple of days.
Yeah, and let's talk about, as you've indicated, that you've warned people that live within the 100-meter area of the river to start evacuating. Have you engaged your stakeholders, like the disaster management, to ensure that people are safe?
As a department, we've got platforms, we've got a disaster management plan that we normally activate, whether it's drought or it's periods of torrent rainfalls that result into flooding, where we have structures where we have various stakeholders, including the disaster management at national, provincial, and as well as local level, where these municipalities that may be affected by such may need to activate their plans so as to ensure that all those that may be affected would need to take certain action. These include, as I've indicated as well, the local municipalities, whether it's subs, if there's a need for them to know that. And we also have water user associations in groups who are along the riparian, who are conducting farming along these rivers, so as to inform their stakeholders to start taking necessary measures to ensure that their infrastructure as well as their livestock or products remain safe during this period. This continues to happen from the onset when we realized that we will be receiving above normal rainfall. From the moment when we started opening more valves to the 1st sluice gate up to the 5th one, every day we continuously communicate with them, and where it's necessary, such as this period, we communicate as and when information comes through.
And I'm sure from the previous floodings that we've had, there has been lessons that have been learned there, especially given the damage that we saw with the recent floods that happened, I think, in 2023.
I think what had happened during that period is that most of those that are within these riverbanks had undermined the inflows that would be coming from the tributaries along the river, besides the water that would be coming from these gates as they get opened. But we have tried by all means to, at all times, remind them that these tributaries, these small rivers that are flowing into the river, they are also contributing to rising levels of water into the river. So this would necessitate, without us having to increase releases from the dams, would necessitate rising levels into the riverbanks. So this would require them to also consider moving above level so that they are safe. So those are some of the messages that we are also trying to get through everyone who is affected by this.
But overall, this is good news, right, for our water-scarce country?
Indeed, it is very much good news if you consider that we received delayed rainfall sometime late November. We had plans to actually release some water from our storage reservoirs, which are our reserves upstream within the integrated Vaal River system. But eventually, as we were busy going towards that, when the dam levels at this particular dam were at about 24%, that's when we started receiving rainfall, because it was anticipated that when the dam started approaching 18%, we'll have to release water from Sterkfontein. But we did not reach that point, and the dam got replenished, and by mid-January it was approaching full capacity. And this is good news for us, because it means that Gauteng continues to be water secured. We should not be worried about access to water for supply.
Thank you very much. That's Wisani Mabasa. They're talking to us, about what we're seeing here, which is indeed good news for Gauteng. The dams being replenished, but also, Hugo, warning those that live within the 100-meter radius to ensure that they are safe. All stakeholders have been informed, activated, and now, of course, it is a situation of monitoring the water flows.